I watched a video by, what's his name? Glink, is it? Is it his name? Glink. Did a video about OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And the more, not the sexual side, but more so the parasocial side, where
Yeah.
a lot of guys are on there because that's like the closest they feel that they can get to a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was really sad watching that video, because he had interviews with people who are OnlyFans subscribers. You know, and as much as we meme on OnlyFans and all that whole thing, and you know, earlier we mentioned the whole dancing women on TikTok, I do feel very sorry for these guys. Like a lot of them that feel that they have no other choice, or there is no other choice for them.
Yeah.
Just to life circumstances, or maybe whatever's going on, maybe they're too busy. You know, it's you know, and it isn't just the stereotypical guys you think who are doing stuff like that, who consume that. You know, sometimes it's people just have no time. They're very successful, and they have too much money, but the one thing that you don't have is time, which is and the ability to go and make friends.
Yeah.
Which is,
especially in this
privilege
day
in
and age.
itself.
Right?
Yeah, it's hard, man.
It is hard. Like a lot of people are lonely. It's especially during the times of the pandemic as well. That's like only kind of just extrapolated.
Yeah.
That's only kind of exaggerated it.
Exponentially.
Yeah. Exacerbated.
You know, and I feel sorry, you know, for a lot of guys. Obviously, as a male myself, I you know, it's one of those things where you can't really openly talk about being lonely. It's quite difficult to do it, you know, and it's often hard to just reach out to friends and be like, "Hey, man, not gonna lie, I'm just lonely, man. You want to hang out?" Like, it's really hard to do that, and
it's that whole stigma of like macho insecurity, right? It's
and
like
I always want to try and dispel that and be honest and try and be open with my emotions and what I'm feeling, just so that hopefully that other people can be more open with it as well. Like, I feel like when you're a public figure, it's kind of your responsibility to try and improve the understanding of topics like that, I think.
Gentlemen, you're allowed to feel emotions.
Yeah,
it's
man.
okay.
Yeah.
Bro, I know how, so, you know, because, you know, more often than not, there is a lot of toxic masculinity and pride that men have. You're supposed to be successful and provide and you know, basically not be a fuck up, right? Right? And this pressures are fucking difficult, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of guys end up pushing a lot of friends away because they're so focused on trying to not be a failure.
Yeah, and I feel like, especially with guys, it's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about something negative. Like I remember, I remember when we went back to see all our mates, and we had that Airbnb where we all caught up. I remember like going into like a deep conversation that some of our guy mates were having at that time. I remember sitting down on the table and. One of our mates was talking about, you know, going through therapy for one of the things that they went through, right? And you know, more and more people started sitting in and then started sharing their stories about how they also were going through something rough, especially during COVID, and they had to like seek therapy about it. And then eventually we just had this whole table, this group of guys, and I was just like, wait a minute, has anyone here not been to therapy? And we look around and nobody puts their hands up. And I was like, so everyone here has been to therapy? And I was just like, how have we never talked about this before? We've known each other for like 4 years.
It's a shame thing, right?
Yeah,
a lot of guys feel shame admitting that they have any of those problems.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, if something should be normalized and not be shamed or frowned upon, it's this, you know, it's admitting that you have a problem and you're seeking help for it. And it's like, I feel like, especially in England and especially in Asian culture, it is very much frowned upon to like say, hey, I went to therapy or I talked to someone. And I was just like, because the mentality is that if you go to therapy, then you're inherently trying to fix something about yourself. There's something inherently wrong about yourself.
Yeah,
and I think
people don't want to admit that there's something wrong.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier to just avoid it.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely bullshit. You know, just speaking like trying to keep a healthy, like a good mental health is not something that should be frowned upon. You know, and I feel like America in this are like leagues ahead of other cultures in just accepting this. 100%. And
gender doesn't stop you from being sad. Like if you're sad, it doesn't matter what you identify as. If you're sad, you're sad, and if you need to talk about it, you need to talk about it. Like
it sucks, man, because the male suicide rate is so high. Man, like I'm so sad thinking about it.
Well, the male depression rate is so high as well. Because no one fucking talks about
this
it.
Thing, right? When I was in my first year of living in London, looking back, I can easily tell you I was depressed. But at the time, I didn't know. I didn't know why I was miserable. I didn't think I was like, I have no reason to be sad, so I'm not sad. I'm just
That's because you had no one to talk about.
I'm just in a bad mood. But I also didn't even, because I hadn't been educated on it. No one even told me that was like, who tells you what depression feels like?
Yeah.
How do you learn that? I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what it was. And only now when I look back and I think, oh, I had like all the trademarks of depression. Like I like didn't want to hang out with anyone, but I also was lonely.
Yeah.
But and there's tons of other
It's
stuff.
just a catch-22,
Right. It's like it's and normally it's being your own worst enemy. But I didn't understand that. And I'm very, very lucky that I managed to just get out of it on my own. Yeah. And that now I'm much better. And I think it was a whole slew of reasons of why I don't feel that way anymore. Mainly like just life reasons changing.
Yeah.
But I wish that I had more education on it in school. Like in Wales, it was never fucking brought up. Depression was for people who are crazy. That was not what healthy people have with normal jobs and wives. You know, you can't be sad if you have a job and a wife.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got a 50-inch plasma screen TV. You can't be depressed. Depression is people who killed people, Connor. You know, that's what it was like. You know, like I'm obviously exaggerating, but
and I feel at school as well. Like it's harder to take seriously because of the environment that you're in.
Oh
as well.
Yeah.
Bro, I was just miserable in school anyway. It's really difficult and it's a really uncomfortable thing to think about.
Yeah.
And there are times in my life where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm near certain that I was like miserable and very, very unhealthily so, and very self-destructive, but I just didn't recognize it and I didn't know why. I think that's the main reason is like, why?
Yeah.
No one, most of the time, nothing makes you depressed. It just happens.
Yeah. And I feel like, you know, it's going back to what you were taught in school. It's just like, seeking help, therapy, those are for the crazy people.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
You know, it's just like you don't want to be associated with the crazies, with some, you know, and it's just like, that's just not how real life is at all. A lot of people have a lot of issues and like some on varying scales, but there's nothing wrong with just fucking talking to someone professional about it.
There's nothing wrong with seeking help.
Yeah. And like, you know, when you've had it for an extended period of time, I didn't know. I was like, well, this is just normal. This is how I've always felt. I don't know. I don't know anything else. This is. What do you mean?
That's when it starts to get scary.
Yeah,
because that's all I like. For a while, that was like how I just felt all the time. Yeah. So I was like, oh, no, well, there's nothing to complain about. This is how it's always. Because your memory is very good at letting you forget things. Over a year, so you very much forget how it was.
You'd be surprised how easy it is for your mind to just accept things as the way they are.
100%.
No, you can get used to a lot of things, and it's fucking scary how you can just get used to like a lot of like a toxic period in your life or like a really bad period in your life, and your mind just like accepts that as a norm, and you forget that life could be better, that not everyone should feel this way.
Yeah. And unfortunately, our mind has a terrible way of coping with situations we don't like.
Yeah.
And our brain is fucking amazing at like hiding shit from us. So for a long time, I didn't know why I was sad. I knew I was, but I couldn't figure it out. Like,
the brain is very good at just like fucking putting on the emergency handbrake sometimes and being like, don't think this.
It's really good at like, that little brain is really good at distracting.
That cheeky little fuck, that boy.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
I implore you to think about it more, and if you are privileged
don't be ashamed
to get help,
don't be fucking ashamed of it, dude. Like,
don't be ashamed to talk to it about your to talk with your close mates about it, because that's the biggest thing. I think
very, very blessed that I have good friends.
And if your mates don't take it seriously, then you know that's something that's telling of your mates. They're probably not your mates.
That's telling.
Yeah, that is telling.
Because I've, you know, I realized then that I was lucky enough to have mates, you know, including you guys, who I can talk to anything about, you know, and it's not just here, it's back home as well. And I'm just like, damn, I got a pretty good group of friends. I feel pretty blessed right now, you know.
Obviously, you're not going to bring it up every goddamn conversation.
No.
You can bring it up.
It has a time and place.
Right.
Dude, it was a fucking bro moment when I'm just like, I'm glad we're fucking talking about this now, man.
Yeah.
But, you know, I want all my friends to feel like they can come to me in trust and be like, listen, man, I'm really struggling. And I'll be like, oh, well, let's do something.
Yeah, let's sit down, let's talk about it.
Whatever you need, man. Let's figure it out. Like, let's do it. Like, I want you to be happy.
Mates don't want to see mates being sad.
No, man. Like, you know, the one thing that I've learned as I'm getting older, God forbid, I'm 25 and I'm saying that shit, but it is, I notice it is harder to make friends. It gets more difficult to make good friends.
Yeah.
because everyone's doing shit.
Yeah.
You know,
and I
hanging
feel
out
at that
is
point
hard.
as well, everyone already has their like established group of friends.
People have
you
their
know?
own friend groups and stuff, and you know, and it's
time.
hard, man. Yeah, time.
Time.
Time is the big one, man.
I remember when I was growing up, everyone was just like, "Time is your most valuable resource," and I'm just like,
Wait,
"Fuck
what
off.
does that mean?
Fuck off. Fuck off. Give
Fuck off, boomer.
give
I'm
me
opening my
give me $1
Pokemon
million
card.
and we'll see how valuable
Time isn't
going to
buy me a McDonald's meal, okay?
Shut up, Dad. Logan is opening my Pokemon card.
But yeah, it really started to hit me when I just wanted to hang out with Sydney, and now she's like got her own career and everything, and we literally had to like schedule a date, which we never had to do before. And I'm just like, what? We have to book out time to spend time with each other?
You have to pencil in a date.
I have to pencil in time to spend time with my significant other, and I'm just like, what?
Good time management.
What is this?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, it is very weird.
Yeah, and it's like time management is a thing that you have to learn as you're growing older as well, and like also you just don't have as much energy as you did before. Like it's like your energy levels do like go down because your patience for bullshit it dwindles. You know,
I have zero of that now. Like, I'm just like immediately I'm like, I'm not gonna waste time on this because now I know how valuable my time is. Like I finally understand that time is your most precious value. It's like,
I know, right?
I finally understood after all the bullshit I went through. I'm like, oh, this is what this means.
And it's not even like, oh, I could be using this time to make money. No. I mean,
I could be using this time to be happy.
I could be using this time to hang out with my homies, to play some games.
Yeah.
Like
Anything but this bullshit.
Like, if there's something that makes me angry nowadays, it's something that wastes my fucking time.
100%.
I'm literally, I don't have many pet peeves, but if I feel, if I do something and I feel like I could have used that hour doing something else.
Yeah.
I that's the biggest thing that makes me angry, man.
Yeah.
I could have been playing like a good fucking game.
Yeah.
Could have like been hanging out with my homies.
Yeah.
Could have been doing anything, man.
Anything to make me happier than where I am now.
Japanese government building. 20,000 hours of waiting.
Yeah, pretty much.
God.